Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Returnable here for Davis. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They begin the drive with Pumphrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? Yeah, maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
And the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw here. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
That's it, baby.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll set up to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. He's to the 10. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now a 7-0 game. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And out now, here come the Bengals. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Leopard. Leopard. Hot.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a give to Mixon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Green brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. A handoff to Mixon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. He'll drop to throw. He finds Ross. Right side. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Second and 10 now from the 27. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already have what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. It goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll try and sneak it here. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He uncorks it for Snead. This is caught at the 20. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Fielded at about the 28. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. The Jets out to the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hot! Hot!
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to throw. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Keenum now on first down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Freeman, and he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Keenum now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down. That's Freeman. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Throwing here, Trubisky. And incomplete to open things up. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This is Freeman. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing is Keenan. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Stephon Tuitt. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And McManus had a little too much slice on him. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I can remember a game here in Chicago a few years back. It was so blustery that Robbie Gould tried a field goal and just about kicked it out of bounds. Once that wind starts coming in off Lake Michigan, it can cause havoc in the kicking game.
Lock in, lock in. 180.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. He leads this one for Howard. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving.
Hey, you got 3.
Here's Trubisky. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Lock in, lock in.
Trubisky, draw play, gives to Howard. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a first and goal to go at the 7. On first and goal, Howard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And his throw is incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Keenum. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Keenum going to throw on 3rd and 1. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Freeman. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st down, Trubisky. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And give them a gain of 37. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Lock in, lock in. Check, 4 down, 4 down. Kill.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he stopped immediately there. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
On 2nd down, Trubisky dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Freeman. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
52, here we go.
Freeman again, a first down carry. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running
That's
back
what you
on
need
that
for
counter
a good
play?
counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Keenum on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, Keenum. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, here's Keenum. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing,
often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And McManus able to put it through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Trubisky now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
On second down, here's Trubisky. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now at Soldier Field. All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
Let's go. We're on the ball after this. Set up. 180.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Set up. 180.
They go counter with Howard. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Set up. 180.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Trubisky now to throw on third down. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Parkey's kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And coming out now, the Broncos. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
23 yards on the play.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, here's Keenum. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now it's Trubisky. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And just like that, it's third down. Here's Trubisky. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now it's Freeman. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Keenum. And that is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Well, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up. Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Throwing now is Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. They give them a gain of 37.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play real.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way, because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with time running out. And the Bears are in for 6. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Broncos coming out now. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The 20th carry now for Freeman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Chicago, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles